Welcome to Ascot. Ascot is the best domestic cooker available in the market because Ascot is in fact not built as a domestic cooker. It's built as a commercial quality cooker but designed to domestic size and design. Now, there are many good quality domestic cookers in the market, of course, and there's a significant difference in how they're put together to a cooker that claims to be a commercial quality. So what we'll do today is just run you through what those differences are. So we look at Ascot. The top is a Titan steel. Okay, so the top of the steel is 30% titanium, which makes it very hard to scratch. It is possible to scratch it with the big heavy trivets, but it's much more durable than any other cooktop in a domestic cooker. It's a one-piece top. No matter what you have, whether you have a barbecue plate or a grill, it's always a one piece of steel underneath the top just to make sure nothing can leak through. When you look at burners, we have a sealed burner system. Okay, so you take the cooker apart. Some of our competitors in domestic cookers have a ventilated burner. You've got a ring around here. The burners work very well, but if you have a spill and stuff gets through into the oven, you can't get it out. So a fully sealed burner system is a much better way to go. When we start looking inside the oven, we see some pretty significant changes. Normally with cookers, elements are made from mild steel. Okay, these cookers are made from stainless steel. They're designed to last then the life of the oven over a mild steel element, but also as a benefit they heat up quicker. You put your hand on a stainless steel pan on a gas flame, it's hot within seconds. It's very, very fast, so the heat transfers quicker and it heats up quicker. You look at the outside of the oven cavity. Around the outside of this cavity you have normally fiberglass insulation wrapped around. It's held down with a metal wire. In most cases we don't use fiberglass insulation, we use porcelain fibre. It's actual little ceramic fibres. It's the best insulation money can buy. The guys over here that sell the pizza ovens and the kilns, they have a layer of that porcelain fibre in between the two layers of their pizza ovens, keeping up to 800 degrees, helping to keep it inside the oven. So that's the insulation we use. We have 3 layers of glass in the door. Of course, the door seals onto the glass, so no dirt can get inside the oven. We transfer air between the outside 2 layers of glass, keeping the front temperature cool. So between the air transfer, the 3 layers of glass, the porcelain insulation, it's one of only 2 upright cookers in the country that are genuinely cool touch on the front and on the sides. There's no caution hot surface stickers on the door, which is required in all domestic brands, but these ones don't get hot. I've had mine at home up to 270 degrees for 3 hours and it was still just slightly warm on the front of the door. Excellent. Also means you can install your benches directly up against the side, and we're not leaving a gap for things to fall down, which you then can't get out, becomes a real pain. So we can build it in right against the edges. When you're looking inside the oven, also we have a 5 kilo dedicated rotisserie motor. Domestic brands are often a 2 kilo motor. A large chicken can be more than 2 kilos. These things will spin up to a size 44 turkey, weighing 5 kilos without a problem. The elements inside the oven, being stainless steel, they're professional elements. The element at the top of the oven is actually a salamander browning element. You've got a baking element at the bottom, of course a grill, and an element wrapped 3 times around the fan at the back. Being professional elements allows us to do things such as blind baking, where you can load the oven up. On the bottom you'd put things like your pizza, your quiches that like to have that heat from the bottom to cook through the paste without burning the delicate ingredients on the top. On the top, the salamander browner is good for prawn kebabs, chicken wings, those sorts of things which will cook in the salamander browner. You look at the middle of the oven, the radiant heat is now blocked by the top and bottom shelf. Alright, so we're baking in the middle. So in the middle you can bake chicken drumsticks, you can bake vol au vents, samosas, spring rolls, anything like that. And your 3 different types of food that all cook differently with different elements are coming out of the same oven at the same time, all cooked properly. This is an oven that does use a little more power than most ovens. We want it to in this case. We're all energy careful, but it's got a job to do. If you want to put in an 8 kilo piece of beef and 10 kilos worth of vegetables, you've got to have the power to be able to heat that up and cook it properly. You've also got things like a proper ball bearing runner on the roller drawer, which is also a fully sealed drawer that can be used as a warming drawer when the oven is in use. Of course, it's programmable. Ascot cookers, it's nice to say that it's programmable. I'll often be at home, I'll have people arriving, I'll preload my oven, I'll set it to come on in 2 hours and finish in 3. That way I'm invariably called off to do something else around the house. We've been there a year only, it's not even finished yet. People arrive, I'm always on time. Everything's cooking, it's going to finish on time no matter what I do. Also, back to the griddle plate. most, or as far as I'm aware, actually all other cookers, that's fired by an elongated gas burner under the plate. That's fine, it does a good job. What we choose to use instead is twin ceramic burners. Now these ceramic burners both have controls on the front of the oven individually to control, but that's now for those that like to cook sauces, mornayes, things that like an even temperature across the bottom of the pan. You just can't get that on a gas ring. Very good quality pots with a nice copper core makes a big difference, but it's never a dead even temperature across the bottom of the pan, which of course it is on a ceramic burner. So that's very versatile. I'll mention things like turbo grill. I won't go through all the functions today, but turbo grill is the grilling element and the fan. How I use it on mine at home, I'll put a lasagna in the bottom. It's in a big green dish about this big, it's about this thick. I usually cook it for about 2 hours because it's quite large. I'll put that in the bottom, I'll select the turbo grill function. Because our grill is attached to a thermostat, I can vary the intensity of the grill, controlling the temperature in the oven. So I select 180 degrees and away we go, we're baking. When people arrive, I will have my grill tray out, I'll prepare an entree, I'll put it in, grill it, take it out, serve it without having interrupted the baking. So essentially we're grilling and baking in the same oven at the same time at whatever temperature we choose. We're also a self-cleaning oven. The HydroClean cleaning system they call it. What you do is you put a litre of water in the bottom pan, put it in the bottom of the oven, turn the bottom element on at 100 degrees and give it 30 minutes. That steams the oven out. Because of the high glass content in the enamel, it allows us to be able to then wipe the oven out, helps keep it very, very clean. That is designed to be used every 6th oven use. Don't leave it for 2 years. But if you're doing open roasts and vegetables and those things that make a lot of mess, then every 6 times that you do something like that, you should give it a steam out and a quick clean out and keep your oven looking as good as new. And that's basically the difference then between a domestic cooker and a fully commercial cooker. Titanium, one-piece top, stainless steel elements, porcelain insulation, 5 kilo rotisserie, ball bearing runners on the roller drawer. The small oven on the side is designed specifically as a baking oven. Okay, this one is designed for bake, for breads, biscuits, biscottis, cakes. That's what it's intended for. Of course, it's an oven that's attached to a thermostat. You can do anything you wish with it, but for those amongst us who are bakers, it's a very good option to have. The back of the seals also, it's a pin thermoseal, slightly concave on the back. Little attention to detail. A lot of cookers have a flat back on the back of the seal. This one, as the oven's heating up, it pulls the oven door closer to the oven and gives a better quality seal in the oven. And that's about all I've got to tell you on behalf of Ascot today.